Hi everyone. I've been asked and asked about how I do my covers. Um, I spent a long time watching lots of other people's tutorials and videos, and I have to say I actually found the answer in this book. I've had it for ages, craft bookbinding, and it actually explains all about how you do the lettering. So I took the lettering and changed it into a template, and that's the different covers that I've made on my journals. So if I sort of step you through it, how I do it compared to how the book says to do it. I've got a piece of cloth, which is what I use to cover my books with, and I use bookboard. So this is 2 mil thick bookboard, very thick, very sturdy, doesn't tend to bend, of which I've stenciled in what they call it, like a kind of texture paste, and it has to dry. You really do have to have it solid. I've marked on the back of the cloth where I want this board to go, because this one goes on first and then you can arrange your spine and your back cover after. So I've also marked outer edge and the top, because yes, I have actually put them on wrong way round, upside down. Oh god, what a nightmare. So I've learned. So hopefully you can take this and my mistakes and not make the same ones. So glue, I use decoupage. Oh, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I can't even see the screen. Decoupage, decoupage, I don't know. It's what I use for all my book stuff normally. And we put it on. Now you have to put it on quite liberally, because you have to make sure you get it everywhere. I'm also working on what I call my messy mat, because I do make a hell of a mess when I'm doing these things. So sometimes, I don't know, I mean the book says to water your glue down a bit. I've tried that, but it doesn't actually, I find it doesn't actually stick that well. So you need to get it everywhere without it being pooling, otherwise it will seep through your cloth, which sometimes can be a good thing, but not if you don't want it to. Right, so I think that is nearly nicely covered everywhere without it being too thick. So if I pop that down for a moment, move my glue, and then what you do, I move that bit of mat out the way, outer edge to the outside, and place it down where I made the marks. Press it down, keep pressing down, and then turn it over and use your fingers and rub it in. So you're actually moulding the cloth. I'm sorry. Now it says to use the nipping press. I don't have one, so I just use my fingers and a stiff brush I've got, which then brings out the detail. This is actually this is the cover to my next DT project. This one, which will be finished fairly soon. And this now has to dry for, I leave it overnight. So I've done it tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow morning I can get on and finish the rest of it. You can run around the edges just to bring out the sharpness a bit more with your bone folder, but be careful because it will pull the fabric while it's still wet. I'm sure there are probably much easier ways of doing this, but like I say, this is what I found in my book, so, and by having a play, it's like I always say, you've got to play with it. So, there you have it, and that is the beginnings of my cover. Right, let's see if the camera will stop on this time. So there we go. That is the beginnings of my cover for my DT project. Like I said, got to leave it overnight, and then hopefully, because we've stretched the fabric over the relief, it will tighten up, but you must let it dry, otherwise it's just not going to work. Like I say, fingers or your folder, just your bone folder, just to go around the outsides, but carefully because the material's still wet. And to be fair, it's probably best left until it dries. Obviously, the more intricate the pattern, the longer it will take you to go around it. So, there we go. And that is as easy as it is. There's no rocket science behind it. Like I say, fairly old book. Craft bookbinding. It's all in the back. Well, thanks very much for watching, folks, and I will speak to you next time.